Nightmare in the top left. Solar in the bottom right. I feel like we haven't seen enough early game shenanigans. There should be crazy things you can do now with Ravagers or Roaches. Maybe even like super fast Nidus builds. There should be so much craziness, but it's not happening yet. And on the other side, I'm really thinking hard on the Protoss. I feel like we should see a return of the Cannon Rush. It should be really good right now. Yo, 5 stream streak. Thank you so much, MW. Good to see you every day here. Of course, the streaming time has considerably been cut recently here. I've been very busy, unfortunately. But that's always when the new RSL season starts. It's always a little bit tricky to get the streams running. And there's the probe coming across the map. It's not gonna block the hatchery. Be probably a pylon scout necessary to do that. You can rush a bit since the patch. I feel like it should be really good now. But we haven't really seen any pros utilize much cannon rushes yet. But honestly, I think we should see that come very soon into the meta, because of course you're gonna all in with this, but I think like you can play a Forge Expand. You should be able to do a Forge Expand and cannon rush with that. A little bit like the Brood War, like it used to be. In Wings as well. Like there was a lot of Forge Expanding going on. And even though you're gonna cut into your own tech quite a bit and the timing of that, I still feel like that you should be able to just do that, right? Even though the biggest counterpoint to kind of Forge Expands are Baneling busts. Because you kind of just, you know, painting a target on your own back. It's like, you place the Banelings here. Now, there's like a few counters to that, of course. You'd have like a wall or something, but then the wall would be bad against Ravager bursts. I guess with a Ravager it's really difficult, right, to make that Forge Expand style working again. You'd kind of probably need to be aggressively cannon rushing with that. Like you'd be needing to cannon rush offensively and place the Nexus just behind that. Or get the Nexus first and then the cannon rush is going, I don't know. There should be a few ways to be able to execute those. And get them across the map. Maybe even like the old cannon rush styles, which used to be super popular for a while. Where you'd get that gateway, forge gate. Sorry, the forge into the cannon and then the gateway. And make like a wall with a pylon in the gate to protect your cannon, and then the cannon protects the gate, and then you just make the cybernetics core and you start to produce stalkers and you harass with the stalkers. You kind of just have the cannons as a protective measure. And then you throw down a couple shield batteries or something. There should be something like the VOIDRAY all-ins we used to see against Terran. And those should all be way more powerful again, but we haven't really seen those yet come into the meta. Ooh, there's the red guy. And he's gone, and there he is again. There's the Adept coming in here. It's actually not gonna shade up the ramp, so he doesn't really get the high ground vision. You like to proxy the first pylon inside their main. That's very aggressive. A Twilight Council from Nightmare, so no Stargate opening. That means he will probably go into a little bit of a later third base. I mean, he has the money kind of right now. This is about the moment, 4:30, which most Protoss are attempting to take it. It's gonna throw down. Ah, I see. He has a pylon, but that's inside of an Overlord vision. That's like the worst. He's gonna cancel this? No, he's actually gonna try to warp in, but this is not working. And now he's gonna lose these Adepts. Can he recall them? Okay, so he's gonna get 2 out, I guess. 2 are gonna shade away here. Solar doesn't even want to sacrifice any more links. Dark Shrine, win behind Dark Shrine. There's no upgrade from Twilight Council, so this could have been pre-meditated. That's a strategy here from Nightmare. Nightmare is a Dark Shrine dude. He's a Dark Templar guy. And it doesn't even have to be Dark Templars. It could be the Archon drop, which used to be so common on the Dark Shrine. But look at the timing of everything. We do have 5 Adepts which are running into the Mass Ling again and like have to be recalled. I'm not really sure what he's doing here right now. He's warping in more Adepts, but his base is so late. The third base, which with an Oracle opening would go up at around 4:30, it is started a minute later at 5:30. That's so late. And even though he seems to be going into that Archon drop, or maybe DT drop, we don't know yet. Could be both. Can start as a DT drop and then go into an Archon drop, for example. Seen that a lot in the past. But this base is so late, it's insane. And Solar does have a lot of links, which are not really doing too much right now, but they are keeping all the Adepts back at home as well. So all of that investment from the Adepts, it could have been an earlier Nexus, like he warped them in 3x3 quite a bit, and he has like 8 Adepts right now, which are not glaved, and they're very weak in any match against anything basically other than Lings. And we are quite past that Ling period already. We'd see small skirmishes with Lings. We're already into a Ling Roach army, and so the Adepts are very powerless in these situations, especially without any upgrades. Forge on the way here. It's gonna be quite nice. Probably gonna go into +1. He will. So we did see the Archon's Morphe immediately. He's also going into Blink. And that's again where I'm gonna say I don't like it. Even though, okay, I get it. You kind of need to have something to deal with meters. But if you're gonna play that versus ground trick here with Nightmare, just go a little bit more ham on that. Don't go into Blink. Get into Charge first, please. And then go into AoE faster. Maybe even AoE before Charge. That's also where I'm like, maybe you wanted to have that with the Templar Archives and not the DTs. So you could potentially go into Storm behind this, right? You can kind of, I guess he could play the way where he snipes the observers and then he could make something happen with DTs, but that's more of a defensive move. Also, everything's kind of being scouted right now by Solar. It's a pretty good insight. He sees the production, he sees kind of everything, the tech. There's no hidden information here right now. Nightmare a little bit sloppy just letting that. And doesn't he have any Stalkers? He has 3 Stalkers. He's getting Blink for 3 Stalkers right now. Like, why would you? I know you only have 1 Zealot, honestly. Even Glaive would have been better in this situation. But you're not gonna make more Adepts, so I get that. You will always make more Stalkers, so I also get that. But you will make even more Zealots. And especially at this point of the game. There's a Baneling Nest, there's Banes, but he doesn't really have any Banes yet out. He could morph Banes if he wants to, but you still need Zealots, right, to deal with that. He has the Archon for the Zealot Archon, but he doesn't have the Zealot legs. He does finish it up, the Blink, I mean, and he's gonna get more Stalkers, but he's still not getting Zealot Charge. He never got it in the last series. It was a big mistake here for Nightmare against Maru. And yeah, he lost the game kind of because he went into Blink and not Charge. So I feel like he's making a lot of strange decisions. Let's see where he can take that. It's going to plant a cannon. And yeah, of course, the Robo Bay is going to finish up eventually. So we will see some AoE. May it be Colossi or Disruptor is getting into a second Robo as well. And Solar, he doesn't care. There's no timer on him. He just takes the gold base in the bottom left. He just masses up. He's maxed out right now. About to be. He makes 4 more Overlords. He's gonna... Wow, that's like the worst. They're really good trap here. But he also does lose the base in the left, I think. You can't really defend this one. Nah, that's a cancel. But that was an insane trap from Nightmare. Definitely a very valuable move. The issue though is I still don't see any AoE with this army. And against this amount of Lings, 2 Archons are just not gonna cut it. He's also not really behind any structures. There is a Disruptor which is not shooting right now. And again, he only has Blink, which you can kind of utilize to blink into masses of Banelings. Now he drops sentries into Banelings. You can of course trade efficiently if you have space to blink back to, but man, those Banes are coming in, they're rolling through the base. Double Immortal is still alive. Disruptor did get 1 kill. That's not what you call AoE, right? You have a AoE unit killing one unit is basically just a glorified like zealot, I guess. A zealot can get one unit kill. Now, yeah, finally going into that Colossus transition, which I'd like to see here, but I don't think he has gotten charged, and he's not getting it right now. He's not getting a +2 here. He is hurting for money, he's hurting for income. He still has 62 probes though, and there's only 70 workers for Solar, even though he has the gold, so that's a little bit boosted income. Still feels like Nightmare is just making a lot of questionable decisions. He's planning down 5 cannons here right now, but he's playing against Banelings, so honestly, like 5 Banes into the 5 cannons, and you have even a better trade here for Solar, and yeah, Solar is just gonna grab that. I feel like a lot of questionable new moves from Nightmare. Seems like he's a little bit lost currently in what to do. Maybe he has a plan, but just doesn't really come together all that well yet. Maybe Solar did do something to him. I mean, he pushed out that pylon, right? And after the pylon, Nightmare never really recovered from the situation, so really good for Solar, really tight play from him afterwards. As we go into the second map here in the bottom right, we do have Nightmare on Ruby Rock. Top left it is Solar. Yeah, Solar did even have a bank. He had a lot of income. He might have not been on the 90 drones, which you sometimes see when in the ultra late game for the Zerg, where you can just throw away armies and you have like 8 hatcheries with a few injects going even to kind of reproduce infinitely until you eventually run out of map. But and then it just comes down to how efficient can your opponent defend, and if he can acquire more bases for himself to kind of, you know, the reverse exhaust play kind of thing there. But yeah, Solar had a lot of money, he had a lot of room still in the last game. He had a very decent income, even though not the super insane income. Still good with that gold base, of course. He's going into hatchery first. Now, hatchery first builds should be so punishable by cannon rushes, right? I mean, there's the gateway on the way, but that if that would be a forge, he comes across the map right now. He could make a pylon over here and just cannon, and this has to be killed, right? You could even wait. You could just make the pylon. You'd have the probe sit there for a moment, make the pylon, and then get a couple cannons once you can't really cancel it anymore, so you get a guaranteed kill. There's a lot of shenanigans. Of course, people would eventually start to scout against that and do pull first and stuff like that. I feel like there's a lot of potential to the cannon rush again, which didn't really feel that way in the last, I don't know, 3 years or something. Nightmare, of course, not going down that ramp. We could see cannon rushes in this week's RSL. I still need to get them vetoes. Start their vetoes actually, but yeah. Still have a little bit of time left there. By the way, next stream is gonna be in 3 days, which is a little bit off. It's not really one of my free days, so none of my streaming days, but still gonna be streaming, I think, on that day. Not 100% confirmed yet, but should be happening. At least a small one. Another adept opening. And this time we do see a Stargate, so Nightmare playing this a little bit more back to the last patch's meta. It seems like the Stargate with the Oracle is going to be very helpful in getting you situated on the 3 bases, of course. And if you look at the times, like the timing, we had 3 minutes. With the Oracle pop in probably around in the early 4-minute mark, you're going to be very happy to set up that 4th base third base super fast. Yes, Nightmare, not like a 5:30 or something. Should be around 4:30ish this game. On the other side, Solar is planting down his 3rd hatchery right now, and he should go up into some gas mining very soon. As soon as he saturates the natural here completely. And now we should see eventually that lair come in and the tech he really wants to utilize. Actually a VOIDRAY here, so Nightmare's gonna get rid of the scouting. There's an Overlord just watching the cybernetics core very closely. Like, very closely. Oh, he's actually even closer now. And now he moves past it. He sees the second gateway. He goes into the main base. But yeah, he's gonna be stopped by the VOIDRAY anyway, so not gonna find much here. I guess you scout the VOIDRAY, so you're like, okay, you got a Stargate. Congrats, bro. It's a good supply block though. I guess he was open like 2 or 3 supplies, so he makes that. And the hatchery does also finish, so he's fine. Maybe just a split second there. Adepts are gonna see these links, and this is a funny moment where they can kind of go there, see them, and then they go down, they don't see them again. And then they have to commit. You kind of need to go in with one adept, and one needs to stay on that, on the ramp, so you can actually see them. Probe in the wall right now to attempt any the blocking for any run-bys that might happen. A VOIDRAY across the map here is gonna snag a drone. Yep. Get pushed back by the queen afterwards. Only 1 oracle, not really too much, but I don't think this is the place where you want to go with the oracle, and especially not in a way that Nightmare did there. He didn't do nothing with the oracle, and he lost already half the health. Lane's coming in here right now. I'm gonna find the adepts. Gonna say, alright, it's a little bit too dicey. We don't want to go in there. A couple more adepts here. Gonna go at those links. And we get the fleet beacon. Okay, we're gonna look at that here in a moment. There it is. He's skipping any Stargate units right now to make that happen. He might even go, he goes into his second Stargate, now he starts up a VOIDRAY. Yeah, I was about to say you might want to go for a fast mothership, but he will spend some of his money right now. Start up the production here. Adepts are gonna try to do some pressure. He's gonna shade off 2 into the mineral line, but 5 probes did fall here to these links. That was a very nice run by there by Solar. Even cancels that shield battery. No air units to defend here at home. Still no mothership. He has the money, by the way. Couldn't make it. I think he has the open supply. He has everything. It's 400, 300, right? Or maybe it's 400, 400 again. I'm not sure. Like these 2 Stargates, they are sitting so idle right now. And there's gonna be a Spire. Roach speed on the way, and roaches, and 12 more drones. Like the Stargates are not producing anything. He has 2 of them. He's really unoptimized right now in his build order. It seems like there's a lot of holes, which Solar didn't even punch. Like they're just there. Nightmare just hasn't had a very optimal way of approaching this, opening wise. It seems like a lot of missed production time. I mean, imagine if he was constantly producing out of those 2 Stargates from the double VOIDRAY. I think he'd already be up to like 5. Now he's at 2. Will the Oracle get the kill? I guess it does. Poor Roach. And there's another pylon and a forge somewhere. Where's the forge? Not sure what you want to do with the forge, honestly. He's going into ship weapons. I feel like if you commit this heavily to air, you wanna actually go into air armor, not ship shields or something, or ground weapons. Like a forge could be good to just place some cannons. That makes sense. And the Oracle, honestly, shooting away with the laser beam, I don't really like that much. I feel like you want to set up some stasis traps. So I'm not a big fan of the decision making. I feel like from Nightmare right now, there's a lot of holes as well in the build. A lot of potential there, but it's just so many things that are not optimized, and where it feels like there's so much more sharpness to be gained, you know. Now he has a bunch of VOIDRAYs, but as I said, like he could have like 3 more or something, and you're looking at about 10 and not 6. And then you're like 1-1 for the corruptors. So that's actually gonna be a really good time for the voidrays. They do have not +1 done yet, but they still burn down the sentry very fast, and then they're gonna run away with the speed here from these corruptors. Are they actually faster than corruptors? 4.6 against 4.7, so they're just a little bit slower, but it's gonna be super difficult to catch them anyways. The mothership was there to get the cloak ready as well. He's gonna have the +1 ship weapons in a moment. What is he doing with the forge? So he just got that to get up 5 cannons, I guess, yeah. A bunch of cannons. If you sit defensively, yeah, maybe. But you're giving up all the pressure, especially I feel like with the cannons kind of setting up and not like gateways or something. Feels like he just wants to play very defensive, slow-paced Proto style. And he's still massing voidrays, but he doesn't really have any AoE, like even Archons. It's kind of the Archon toilet, right? It's the meme, but you kind of need some AoE against those. May it be Archons, may it be Storm. You need something, I guess. Courses, they're not in the game. He's trying to make carriers right now. I feel like this is not the moment. Voidrays are still what you need here and what you want. He has 13 against 25 corruptors though, so Solar's really outmassed that air army. And now coming in here, and the mothership is there, it's gonna tank a lot. And it has a few cool spells. It's gonna cloak, but there's of course the overseers. He does also throw down the slow zone. But it doesn't really help much in this fight, unfortunately. Finally the sentries are gonna start their shields here, but really getting taken down by the ground army. The army feels like it's just falling apart here very slowly. He's not fighting with the cannons he made over here. He's not fighting with the cannons he made over here. They're all just sitting there. So that's like how much? It's 10 cannons that didn't do anything. So Nightmare also did just not choose the correct position for his army to fight in. He defended an in-between location which didn't have anything. A lot of mistakes, honestly. So a very well-deserved last place. Sometimes you just have to give it to them. He really earned that one. Like, he was very, very unoptimized. A lot of questionable decisions. The micro was okay. It wasn't anything super fancy, but it was also not too shabby. So, not really anything I can pick on there.